Hi, my name is Samuel Hafenrichter from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. This may not be a typical World Changers video, but that's okay, because I'm not a typical kid. Here's a little bit of my story. After a sudden severe illness in late 2018, my heart function dropped below 10% and I was diagnosed with congenital heart disease that if left untreated would have been fatal. I was immediately referred to a pediatric heart failure specialist at Colorado Children's Hospital. After a myriad tests and specialist appointments, it was clear that although my heart health initially stabilized, it would never function normally. Over the last few years, while my quality of life has been good, my heart has continued to degrade structurally, which led my team of specialists to recommend I have a defibrillator implanted this past fall. I had just turned 18, so getting the ICD was my first major adult decision. I will always have to be followed by a cardiologist and may even have to have a heart transplant at some point.
He was about to have his heart surgery, and so on a Tuesday evening, there was probably 10 high school students gathered right here in my office, just off what you're seeing. It was right over here, and so a couple of the student ministry leaders, as well as our youth pastor, and then I came in, and these young men just gathered all around Sam. And I think what it reflected was just this deep level of trust, respect, community amongst these young men.
Although I was initially anxious, fearful, and even angry this was happening to me, God in His grace has used my condition to give me perspective and purpose. My heart condition has kept me from being a typical active teenager, but I believe God has shown me how I can serve His kingdom despite my physical limitations. I've been blessed with talent, people, and opportunities that have providentially been a light to my path. I have been taught to sing and play guitar by wonderful and faithful instructors, and have been given opportunities to lead worship for Sunday services, youth services, and summer camps. My senior year has been particularly action-packed as I'm interning with the worship pastor at Desert Springs Church. I also lead our elementary Sunday school children in worship, work a few days a week at our local Chick-fil-A, and continue to direct our youth worship team. It is these experiences and opportunities that have instilled a desire to commit my life to serving and glorifying my Lord and Savior in worship ministry.
In overseeing the youth, we do a youth worship, which is we have a time prior to the preaching the message where, in a desire to sort of replicate what we do on a Sunday morning, we gather as a youth and we sing. And that worship band, the desire was that for it to be overseen by youth. Of course, it's difficult to find youth who are developed enough both in their personal walk with Christ, but also their musical gifting to be able to handle that. And Sam has stepped into that. In fact, he did it shortly after I came here. He was sort of ready to take on responsibility in that regard, and that's only increased.
I have a passion to see the next generation of music leaders in the church raised up and sent out, and I just can't think of a better candidate than Sam.